I have a profound, fundamental need for my body and spirit to be in this place, away from the mechanisms of the world. The wilderness is my necessity. The fire recharges my soul. The air, the clouds, the scent of the timber, the sagebrush, feed me. Spring bear season is one of my favorite times of the year. The snow is melting and new growth emerges, bringing color back to the landscape. It's a beautiful place, a place that I long to be. Being in this place takes away the stress and pressure that life throws at us. It renews our soul and shows us that life is more than just the hustle and bustle of the busy streets, concrete, pavement, and buildings, stoplights, and traffic. So come along and join me on my 2017 Montana Spring Bear Hunt. Stay tuned for some exciting action, some great footage, and just good old-fashioned hunting. And a 4-year quest chasing after the bear named Frank the Tank. It's gonna be a doozy, I'll promise you that. Montana spring bear season opens April 15th in most areas. I'd gone out a couple of times in late April and had yet to see a bear. On this day, it was May 11th, and I had ventured into the backcountry for my first 3-day bivvy trip of the season. Shortly after getting set up, and right at about 5:30 p.m., I spotted this beautiful blonde bear. This is a bear that I have spent many seasons watching. I spotted this bear during the 2015 season. I estimated at the time that he was about 3 years old. Now, probably close to 6 years old, he's grown significantly and is certainly a bear worth looking at. I decided that this bear probably wasn't the bear I was going to harvest this year, and was hopeful that maybe I'd see him yet again next year or the following year.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is episode 2 of our Montana 2017 Spring Bear Hunt. And today's date, it's Friday, May 19th, and you can see we're kind of back in some of that great, beautiful country. It's been a week since we've been up here last, and it snowed about 9 to 12 inches up here. We're going to be getting into a lot of snow up higher where we're headed, but this is kind of that halfway point that I showed you last time. It's been a long week. It's been a pretty stressful week. Some of you may or may not know or watch some of my social media, other channels, but we had the passing of a deputy sheriff in our county. This week he was murdered by a couple of really bad dudes. So it's been a pretty tough week for me. It's close to my heart. Some of you know me, some of you don't, but I work closely with law enforcement and law enforcement families, and it's been a pretty tough week as a result of that. So hopefully up here we're going to honor Deputy Mason Moore today, and we're going to enjoy some sunshine, get into some snow, and maybe look for some bears, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back guys. This is episode 2 of my 2017 Montana Bear Hunt, and today is May 26th, it's Friday, and we're actually back into a different area. Sorry I didn't get to catch up with you after our last outing, which was last Friday, and unfortunately the bears just didn't show up where we wanted them to be. I did see a really big black bear, only about 10-second glimpse of him, and he was just too far away right before dark to go after. So we're actually backpack hunting, as you can see. I'm fully loaded up here, and we're headed into a new area This is an area that I frequent pretty often. It's some really gorgeous country. You can kind of see there's some cliffs and stuff up there behind me. We're actually just hiking up the trail here. And this is a spot that I come to pretty frequently. I actually missed a bear in here last year. Just a really bad, unstable shooting platform at about 300 yards. And unfortunately I shot right over the top of the bear, kind of in a hurry. And then 3 years ago I missed a bear in here, and that was just a really long shot before I was really set up to shoot long range. But I've seen a lot of great bears in here. In fact, one of the biggest bears I've ever seen was in here 3 years ago, and that's a big giant chocolate bear. So always see bears in here. I got a really good feeling we're going to see bears tonight. As you can see, it's kind of an overcast day. It's not terribly hot out. It's about 50 degrees right now, and we're going to stay in here for the next couple of days and see if we can't kill a bear. So stay tuned. I don't know if you guys can see him or not, but he's right on top of that ridge. It's a long ways away, but it is a really big bear. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. Sorry for the shake. Oh, he's going to feed over the hill again. There he is. The big bear. So that was pretty cool. Hopefully you guys got a chance to see that. Unfortunately, I wanted to pull the camera off so that I could just take a look with my own eyes. You lose a little bit of the distance, obviously, when you're filming through this blind scope. And so I wanted to take a look with my own eyes to see if I could tell whether it was a grizzly or a black bear. It's a big bear. I mean, that's easily 4 miles away. And you could tell just even from, I think, what you guys saw, that was a pretty big bear. It's kind of the wrong color. It's that chocolate colored bear, which I'm not after a chocolate colored bear, but if that bear is as big as I think it is, it'd be worth shooting. It's just a heck of a long ways out of here. So stay tuned. Hopefully the sun's obviously starting to poke through the clouds. Hopefully we'll find some more bears, but they're out. It's 2:50 now. So stay tuned. Let's find some more bears.
After glassing up several bears, I moved to my favorite glassing spot. I settled into the hole I'd dug into this hill years past and set up my tripod and binoculars to start glassing. The time was 4:30 p.m. Before I could even get set up, I spotted a large brown object with my naked eye. It seemed out of place. I've looked over this spot for many seasons, and I've got dang near every rock, stump, and otherwise bear-shaped object memorized. When I peered into the binoculars, I immediately recognized this bear. You see, this bear and I have history. Back on Sunday, June 9th of 2013, just before dark, my buddy Derek and I spotted this bear. At the time, we knew he was a big bear, but he was just too far away to make a play on, and he was busy putting moves on a hot black sow. The next night, we hiked 7.42 miles back into his lair, but he never showed himself. Fast forward to today, 3 seasons later, I had hunted exclusively for this bear, and one other giant black bear that I had spotted. I spent well over 100 hours in this lair, waiting and watching patiently for this bear to show up. I found signs that he was here, his scat, his tracks, and I knew he was around, but I was confident that no one had taken him. Today, at 4:30 p.m., just before I could even really get settled into my little nook in the hillside, I spotted him, and it was that moment I named him Frank the Tank. I moved into position, which was a rock pile that I had scouted seasons ago. I knew this spot would cut the distance in half and get me well within effective rifle range on a good shot at Frank. Unfortunately, Frank had one last trick up his sleeve. Just as I was getting ready to set up my camera to film the shot, he winded me and took off. I had a split-second decision to make. Frank was bolting for the safety of the timber, and I knew there were only 2 windows of opportunity for me to get a shot. Before I could get my camera set up, Frank bolted, and I took my shot as he went through the last 3-foot window opening in the timber. My shot rang out, but I had no idea whether I'd connected with Frank. All I saw was a streak of brown running through the timber. Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me. There's a little bit of a breeze here, but pretty disappointed right now. Made a play on that bear, and it worked out pretty well. I got into a spot actually that I knew about and had kind of practiced getting into that spot, because I've seen bears right there where we saw that bear in the past. In fact, there was a giant chocolate a couple years ago in that same exact spot, and I think maybe it was the same bear. But anyway, I got set up in the rocks. It was 277 yards, and he was feeding across the hill, kind of across this way, from left to right into the wind, and I had to let him kind of feed out into this meadow, and he stopped behind the last tree. Why do they always do that? He stopped and he picked his head up and he kind of sniffed and laid his ears back, and he turned around and kind of started trotting back down the hill towards where I filmed him at, where you guys saw him in the film. And I knew that I only had 2 windows of opportunity. And the first window he went through, I had the safety on, and so I clicked the safety off. And the second window he went through, I pulled the trigger and shot. He didn't hit the ground right away, and I saw him kind of run off just for a split second. So I had no idea whether I hit him or not. But he wasn't running, but it was kind of a fast-paced walk. And as soon as he got into my crosshairs and
and I've taken this shot 1,000 times in practice. You know, I pulled it right when it was on his shoulder, so a right neck, kind of in this area, right in the neck and shoulder, hoping it would hit him in the shoulder and dump him. But I'll tell you what, that is a giant bear, and so I'm really deflated right now. I have just zigzagged all over that hill looking for it, and I'll show you here if you can. That's actually right there. That's actually the hill he was on, and you might be able to see I was down in those rocks right down there when I shot, and he was, like I said, he was right up on this hill, and he kind of ran around up into here somewhere, and I've zigzagged all over that looking for blood, and I can't see any blood, but I found some of his scat and his tracks, and I can't track him because it's the ground's so dry. I can see where he went up the hill a little bit, but he's been tearing up that whole hillside, so it's really hard to tell where he ran off. And I can't find those tracks, and I can't find any blood, so I'm going to go back over there and keep looking. I have just walked down the logging road that you see here just to make sure there was no blood in this logging road, you know, in case he came up and crossed it. I wanted to make sure that I covered the logging road in the bank here. So I'm going to head back, go do some more looking. I don't think it's looking good for us. Hey guys, well, I got good and bad news. The good news is I'm back over on the hillside, and I found his tracks where he ran across the hillside. And I just found a tiniest drop of blood. I'm going to take a picture and show that to you guys, but that's not good. That makes me even more sick, knowing that there might be a wounded bear, that I might have gotten a not good hit. So I'm going to take a photograph of that, and I'm going to keep tracking. I mean, it's just so lucky that I found these tracks coming across this hillside. It's just impossible, but stay tuned. So right up there is where I shot him, about 70 or 80, maybe 90 yards away, and he came across here. And you can see, I mean, it's damn near impossible to catch a track, but right on that rock, right there, and right there is some blood. Hey guys. So it's about 8 o'clock, and we're giving up for the night. I covered that hillside, gosh, 6 times at least, zigzagging back and forth. I finally lost the tracks again, couldn't find any more tracks or blood. And I followed it all the way down to the creek a second time, and walked the creek up this time, and kind of hit behind every tree, bush, nook, cranny on that entire hillside just to make sure he wasn't piled up behind it. No luck, so we're going to hike out of here, and we'll be back up tomorrow and bring the dog over, and we will hike down the creek. So if he's mortally wounded, that's where he went. He went downhill and went down into that creek bottom, into that thick, nasty stuff. So we'll give him some time to expire if that's the case. I certainly hope so. Again, that's just a giant bear, and I couldn't believe that I would have missed at 277 yards. It's just, I shoot way too much to miss at that yardage, and I had a good solid rest, so I think he just soaked it up. I was aiming, like I said, for that neck-shoulder junction, and he was kind of at a fast-paced walk through there, and it should have went right into his shoulder and dumped him, but I don't know. So we'll be back tomorrow, so stay tuned. Hopefully we'll find him. So it's going to be a sleepless night, I can say that. Hey, good morning guys. It's 7 a.m. and we're headed back up the mountain. Go see if we can find that bear. Temperatures dropped down to 30 degrees last night, and we got a pretty good rainstorm, so glad I put the Jimmy tarp up. We've got a 3-mile hike ahead of us up to the top, and then back around the canyon, and probably drop down in the bottom and follow that creek out to make sure that bear didn't pile up down in there somewhere. But a little exhausted this morning. We did 12.2 miles yesterday, the long day, so back up we go, a couple thousand vertical feet.
right up that, more or less, and hopefully we can find that bear, so stay tuned. Hey guys, thanks for staying with us here. It's about 8:30. It took us right at an hour and a half to get back up here, and you can see actually right behind me, right over on that ridge, is where we shot that bear last night. So we're gonna hike around the canyon and get over there and follow, let's see, I don't know if you can see it or not, follow that little creek bottom down right through there. We're going to follow the creek bottom down, see if he's over there or not. I thought I'd come over here and kind of glass back in here this morning and see if we could pick up anything, but like I said, I covered that hillside extensively yesterday. I'm very confident he's not piled up behind a bush or a tree over there. He could be on the other side of that draw. He might have crossed the creek and went over into the other side. So I didn't see any sign of that yesterday, but you never know. So stay tuned. Let's go see if we can find that bear. Hey guys, so we are sitting exactly where the bear was when I shot him last night. And I don't know if you guys can see it here. Try to get you a view, but we shot right through that hole in the middle of your screen. Give me a finger for reference, right through there. And I was down in those rocks. And he was standing right here, and best I can tell, he ran right down through there. Sitting here just kind of checking things out, hopefully looking for some blood, but nothing right here in this immediate vicinity, but his tracks are right here. And I went and lined everything up through the rocks and got some good markers this morning, and this is exactly where he was at when I shot him. So at this point I really don't have any idea which direction he went. Like I said, I've covered this entire hillside. No real major signs of tracks. And the real question is did he go down over here and up over, or did he go down the bottom? So what we're going to do is we're going to get over on that hillside and zigzag down, checking the creek all the way back to the creek through that stuff, and then hike out down the bottom. And our camp is actually down around that hillside about, in the bottom of the canyon over in there, so maybe half mile around that corner. And we'll head out of here, hopefully we'll find him. I can't believe this. I'm in utter shock right now. I just found that bear. I'm starting to tear up a little bit. I'm a little emotional. This is the most crazy thing. I'm zigzagging across that hill like I told you. And this is by far the Lord's intervention, because I am in the nastiest shit. I mean, it's down to fall. It's nasty. I just walked 3 feet from this bear and I didn't see him. And here's a lesson for you. You ever got an injured animal, try to always stay upwind, because I smelled him. And I just got a whiff of it, and I turned around and looked down, and there he is. He's piled up in this brush. And insane. I just can't believe this. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna show you just what I walked through and where this bear is piled up. And it's an absolute miracle that I found him. So this is where I came down. I just came down through here, and I'm walking down through this stuff. There's my dog. She's like, what the heck? And in this hole, piled up, is my bear. This is insane. 1 drop of blood, you guys. 1 drop of blood. And there he is, piled up in this tree. Deader than hell. You can actually see where I hit him right there. This is insane. I think it might be a sow. But let's get down in there. I kid you not, I literally just walked right through here. Right through here.
crossed up. I was gonna go get up on these rocks and look down into that creek bottom. And here he is. I got a whiff of it. And here he is piled up. That is insane. Just insane. He's been dead since last night. You can see the rain on him. That is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah! We got him! I just talk about a roller coaster. I didn't sleep worth a shit last night. Talk about a roller coaster ride. I wish I could have filmed it. I knew I hit that bear. I knew I hit him. You know, I got over there, didn't see any evidence of a hit, and thought, God, maybe I missed. Maybe it's possible I missed. I was really starting to doubt it. I mean, the shot was kind of rushed. He was, like I said, kind of at a fast-paced walk, not really a run. Running across that hillside when I shot. And I got over there and there's no sign of blood, you know, and then 2.5, almost 3 hours later, I find that single drop of blood. I was getting ready to go. I was getting ready to call it. I'm leaving. I'm done. He's not in here. I missed, which, again, mind-boggling. As much as I shoot, I knew in my mind I made that shot, and I find that drop of blood. And I'm on the other side of the canyon from the creek bottom, and he's piled up in this shit. I don't even know how I'm going to get him out of here, but it's going to be a wild ride. This dude is in the worst freaking spot. What a tank. Look at the pumpkin head on this thing. And of course he's stiff as heck. It's going to make it really hard to get out of here. Oh, what a beautiful bear. But gosh, look at the size of this thing. I don't even think I can roll him over, and we're literally just down in a friggin' hole. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. I mean, literally, look at the size of this bear. This is insane. I need a pulley system and like 6 people. Hey guys, so it's like 2 o'clock and I've almost got the whole bear back to where I shot him. I made one trip all the way over to almost to where I shot from, and dropped off the hindquarters and the back straps and then all the gear in my pack. And right now I've got the whole hide and head in that pack, and then I've got the front shoulders that I'm carrying by hand. It is hot. I am done. I am very exhausted. But this is what high country hunting's about, you know. The pain is well worth it in the long run. Some people might not agree. Probably think I'm crazy, but this is what I live for. And it's tough work. You know, this pack weighs at least 70 pounds. Those front shoulders are probably another 50 pounds that I'm carrying, and I boned them out. I mean, that dude was thick. So anyway, we're gonna hump this load over to where I dropped the meat in a snowbank over there, and we'll grab a load, grab all my gear, and hike out of here for tonight. Probably come up in the morning and grab the rest. I don't think I'm going to make it back up here today. I don't see another 3,000 vertical feet in my future, at least for today. Maybe refuel up tomorrow and come up with an empty pack. So stay tuned. Thanks for joining us. You guys ever heard the term embrace the suck? I'm embracing it. The good news is I've got about 20 yards of uphill, slight uphill, and then it's 1,400 feet straight down. it's gonna suck. It's rocky, it's miserable, there's no trail. But hey, we're embracing the suck. Thanks for watching. So you guys are probably tired of hearing me talk, but I just wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Phil, the Phil Bob, and Stephen Drake. Those two awesome guys came in and met me at camp here, and bless their hearts, they decided to haul out that cape, the bear cape, for me tonight, some of my hunting gear, and I've got a friend coming up tomorrow to help me pack out the meat. So just wanted to give you guys a shout out. We made it back to camp, got in a nap, some food, some stretching. Pretty tore up, pretty sore, but I think so far we've got 9.41 miles today. We did 12.25 miles yesterday, so the body's feeling it. But yeah, we made it down to camp. In fact, it's about dinner time, and I'm just gathering some wood for a fire tonight. And I'm going to have you guys join me along tomorrow when we go up and get the rest of the meat, and then we're going to sign off. So keep watching. Well, this is it. I've got him loaded up, and we're headed out for the 7-mile journey back to the truck. It's heavy. It's every bit of 140 pounds, probably one of the heaviest packs I've had that's just full of meat. It equally doubles that of, you know, probably a hind quarter, a front shoulder, and a tenderloin on an elk. I mean, it is heavy. But beautiful country you can see here. We're headed out of here, and thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys staying tuned. I know I did a lot of talking. You didn't get to see a lot of action, and I apologize for not getting to film that hunt. Pretty disappointed that I didn't get to film it. Sometimes things just happen too quickly. But stay tuned. Thanks for following. Give me a follow on Instagram at High Country Predator. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.